Rise and shine, everyone. If you guys follow the Instagram, you guys heard the story already. If you guys don't know the story, red 4Runner has been gutted up already. Yesterday, after I got my toolbox, I had a buyer for the 3.4 engine swap, so he went ahead and purchased the whole 3.4 engine. I went ahead and pulled that already. So yesterday, I started working on this 4Runner. Went ahead and got rid of some stuff already. Fenders were sold already. This truck was running good and all, but like I said, I put it on the market. I was trying to sell it as a whole vehicle. Nobody really wanted to buy it, and I also ended up selling the motor, 3.4 swap motor, as one whole unit. So when I sold that, so today we're gonna go ahead and finish removing the rest of this rig here. I don't really need anything much from this rig, but I do want some important stuff that I have. I want the front differential because the front diff is a long tube style. I'm not gonna pull the transmission because I don't feel like I want to hold on to a spare tranny, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that bell housing. I want to keep that bell housing for some projects. So I want the front diff. The CV axles aren't really the best. They're starting to tear apart already, but I think they're still decent. So I'm gonna pull that. I'm keeping my tires, obviously. I want to keep the manual hubs. I put brand new brake calipers and brake pads, so I want to keep those. And then I might pull the mirrors. I don't want to pull the doors. I don't really need anything from the rear. The rear diff, I'm gonna leave it the way it is because I need to have the rear axle as a unit so I can dolly this rig to Toyota Heaven. As far as the back goes, don't really want anything from the back. Don't really need anything from the back. I pull the windshield wiper just for the heck of it. I don't know why I always do that. I might even want this hitch because I want this hitch bar to do a project with it, so I might do that. Looks like I have to unbolt this, and I just need this piece here, this whole piece right here. So I might do that, guys. Yeah, and then the rear, I don't really need anything from the rear. Let me show you guys. This one does have the Land Cruiser coil spring, so it's good for lift. But unfortunately, she's dead, guys. She is a dead rig. Oh, I sold the seats. I sold the front seats to the gentleman that bought the engine. The rear seats, not keeping them. Don't need anything from back there. Don't need any of these trim piece right here. This piece here is a lot of people are always looking for these pieces, but I have so many of this already. Oh, I love the smell to you. Visor, mirrors, I'm not gonna pull those because I don't really need them and I don't want to hoard too much parts. Still has really good doors and doors panel. I actually have a set of mirrors already, so I'm not even sure if I want to put that. And then I might try to get this piece right here. This is the heater control bore unit. They're always kind of tricky to get out and pull, but I'm gonna try to get that. But it's early right now, guys. It is 6 a.m. Let's go ahead and start working. So the first thing I'm gonna do today is I want to tackle this front diff and get this out of here. So before I start removing the big 33-inch tires, I still have a lot of room to get down there, so I'm gonna start doing things from the bottom. So I need to go ahead and unbolt that front dry line, unbolt it from the diff, unbolt it from the T-case, and then after that we'll be done with everything on the bottom of the engine of the truck. I shouldn't need to crawl down there anymore. Once I get that done, then I can go ahead and jack up this front, remove these tires, remove these calipers, remove this front diff, and go from there. So let me go ahead and gear up and let's start working, guys. All right, I got the front dry line detached from the differential. I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove this bell housing real quick. I believe the bell housing, you can access the bolt from down here, way in that valley. Probably keep that clutch fork too as well, just for spare, because I don't have any. And then after that, we'll go ahead and start removing the pumpkin. If I'm correct, it should be 14 mil. Be 14 mil. I want to keep this bell housing so I can mount a engine to the bell housing, and then mount the bell housing to the back of a engine stand. 6 bolts so far. Remove the bell housing or the throttle bearing. This is a 3.0 throttle bearing. This one is still decent, but who knows how old it is. It's made from Japan. It's still good, spins good. It's decent, but I would recommend you always put a new one while you're in there. So the shift forks, we'll go ahead and keep the shift forks just for backup because I don't have a spare. And then we got one more bolt right here. And then we also have to remove the clutch slave because that's bolted to the bell housing, or else you're gonna be stuck on this line here. But let's see if we can get this out. There we go, it's out. Now this transmission is gonna want to drop because right now this is what's supporting the transmission from dropping. So make sure you have something supporting it down there. But let me go ahead and try to pop it out. Look at this brand new windshield too, guys. This 4Runner has a spanking brand new windshield. So that's why I don't want to send it to the crusher. There we go. So you see that? We got a bell housing right there, guys. Bell housing for spare. Whew. And then we have the clay slush slave. These are 12 mil. I'm not gonna keep this because I have brand new ones already as spares. So we'll pop that out and then we'll have our bell housing. Nothing but aluminum. Also nice to have this little boot here. People lose this boot all the time or it gets damaged after a year or so. This one is actually still nice and intact. It's really nice and tight in there. Engine bay wise, I'm not gonna pull anything else. This is the DIY battery tray that they did for it. This looks pretty brand new. Not gonna pull that. Not gonna pull any of this stuff right here. I might try to pull that wiper motor because I don't have a wiper motor spare yet. So probably try to pull that before I get rid of this rig. Let's go ahead and remove this wiper motor real quick. 10 mils. The wiper motor is kind of tricky, but it has a little trick to it. So there's a little nut behind here. And you have to be able to pop this nut out because it bites onto the blade. So what I do is I try to, yeah, there's a little nut right here. You know, with parts like this is that, you know, you always want to just pull it in case you ever need it. Because if it goes bad, then you gotta go look for it, and then that's where it costs money and stuff like that. So there's a little nut right here. It's a little washer. Show you guys, see that? You see that? That's where the nut was biting. So you just need to get this piece out, and that's what it is. This is a wiper motor. All it does is just rotate this, go just like that. All I had to do was just jerk it a little bit. So now we have it. So that's all there is to it. It's just a motor. It just spins this back and forth. I recommend you guys put that washer and nut back just so you have that. So put that washer, nut back, and there you go. We have ourselves a little nice wiper motor. A little things that you want to keep. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this hood prop. The rubber grommet, it's always nice. And this piece right here, this plastic piece that holds the rod, they're always broken or missing. So you'd be surprised. These little things are always nice to keep. This is just like a little push pin. You just gotta press it in right there, and then it'll come out. So just like that, like I said, it just sits in there, and then you just gotta squeeze those two tabs down there. So these things here, I like to just keep them for the heck of it. This is my little spare bin parts of miscellaneous stuff, switches, fuses, little plastic thingies in here. So if you guys ever need something, just let me know. But we'll go ahead and remove this hood prop later because I still need it for now, because later on I'm gonna go ahead and slap the hood back on, and then we'll remove this last. But that's pretty much it done for the engine bay. Don't need anything else. We gotta take these tires off. Make sure we're choked back there. Like I said, I want to keep my front calipers, so we're gonna remove those first. I also put my new good shocks on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove my front shocks and keep them for the future projects. I kind of want to keep these rotors, but if I keep these rotors, that means the hub needs to come out, and I don't want to take out the hubs and stuff like that. So in the future, I'll just buy new rotors on my pickup. So these are the bigger calipers. These are bigger than the other ones that's made for pickup. So it also uses a different rotor. So in the future, when I put this brake caliper onto the black pickup, I'll buy the bigger rotors. So it's the big upgrade thing, they call it. We got the brake caliper out. Now we just need to remove the hubs here. I'll have a bunch of spare parts for my hubs. This is my spare hub. You guys love working on your vehicle. This is one of the best tools you can have right here. This little impact drill. So there's cone washers, and in order to get those cone washer out, let me show you guys. You gotta have a brass hammer or a brass drift and hit it with the brass. So I take the brass and then I take a big hammer and it pops it right out. You guys see that? There's no way of getting these out without a brass punch, guys. A lot of people always do that mistake. If you hit the stud with this right here, you're gonna damage the stud. Brass is a softer metal. See that? Pops it right out. Just like that, guys, pops it right out. This one's not that bad. Could use a little quick cleaning, but overall it's still really good. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this back on here so I don't lose them. And then take 2 bolts and put it back in there. Just like that, guys. So we have nice hubs, the little backup hubs or something like that. So this one needs cleaning, but overall it's still good. And then we have to take the C-clip, pop the C-clip out so that the CV can pop out. We don't really have to, but since we're pulling the diff out anyways, it's best to just remove the CV and pop this out. So get your CV pliers, clip pliers. The hub itself here, this is the hub. We're gonna leave this hub on because we need this to keep the wheels back on. I'm gonna slap on some roller wheels back on and then go from there. So that's pretty much it for here. Pop the CV, unbolt the CV axle. So we're gonna go ahead and shoot all the nuts out, and then we'll go ahead and put some cheap tires back on here and then go from there. So you need a 17 mil and about a 1 foot extension and a strong impact gun. And what I do is you can shoot all the nuts out by going through right here. You have to turn the steering a little bit. Just like that, you got the 6 nuts that holds the CV to that diff. So now, this CV is now off. Once we drop this diff, we can take out the CVs. This one is already starting to, the CV boot's still nice. It's not all fully ripped, but it does have cracking already. So it's still decent for a spare. Yeah, so right now we have all the nuts out. We can't take out the CV yet, but once we pull that diff out, we'll be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on a roller wheel on, and we'll be good on this side. Oh, we have to remove the shocks too, so let me get the shock out of here first. All right, we got our shock out. The bolt that's used to hold the bottom of the shock is a very special big bolt, so I always like to keep these for spare because sometimes you might get a rig where this bolt is seized up and you have to cut it. All right, we have our old good shock, new shock. 7:30 a.m. guys, I got the other side done. This is the passenger side, rotors, manual hub, CV's been unbolt. I just need to take off that little C-clip right here. And after that, we can slap on the wheels and remove this front diff. Removing the front diff is pretty easy once you have the CV all unbolted from it, so nothing to worry about. And after that, we're pretty much almost done with it. I just need to, pull this diff, and that's pretty much it. I don't think I want anything else besides that heater control unit. Alright guys, so for the diff, you have 3 bolts. One on the front of the pumpkin, one on this side, and one on that side. They're all 19 millimeters. Once you get it out, you can drop it out and always keep the hardware. These are self-locking hardware kind of deal. Killing Toyotas one by one. Killing Toyotas one by one. I have the front tires back on right now, so there's no danger of this thing falling on me. Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. Yeah. so that's why I have this winch here. This is to hold, should be a 19 as well. There it is. First one is out. So that's the first one, and then we're gonna do this one over here. Once we do this, this diff will drop. Not drop right away, but it will come out. All right, guys, I'm under the truck here. You guys can see. Here goes the other. This front diff is super heavy, so definitely have a little bit of fun fighting it. I need to get that front. There's the front bolt right here. There we go. So that's the front one. There we go, guys. There we go. Now I just need to pop it out from the CVs and we should be good. Check that out, man. Big old pumpkin. Imagine trying to do a replacement when the engine's still in here. It's doable, but it's definitely a little bit tricky. There we go, guys. Alright, guys, we got it out, guys. Woo! One of the CV axle was all dinged up. There we go, guys. We got it out. Yeah, this CV axle was all jacked up. I'm trying to get the good CV out. The one that's on the passenger side, driver's side. And I almost got it out. I think we might be able to get it, guys. There we go. We got it. Yes. This one, like I said, has cracking, but it's still in shape. It's crazy that every time we tear our CV, we just end up replacing them because it's much easier to just replace them. So that's it right there. This is the good side. The other side, we're just gonna leave it. So since we dropped that bell housing, that transmission dropped a little bit and the rear driveline ended up coming out from the slip yoke of the T-case. So I ended up removing that rear driveline at the diff. I just need to go ahead and swap out the rear tires, pull these 33s, slap on these smaller wheel ones on, and then we're pretty much done with everything on the exterior. I just need to pull a few more pieces in the interior, that heater unit control board, and that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it for this truck here, guys. So I'll show you guys a little bit once I'm done. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the garage here, put parts away, and then we'll go ahead and load up. Okay, the 4Runner is complete, guys. I got all the parts that I need. There's still lots of good parts still on this truck, but it's officially ready to go to Toyota Heaven. My buddy at Toyota Heaven, he's not ready yet, so we'll go ahead and load up this vehicle later. So I did pick up something pretty cool a couple days ago. You guys might have saw already, and it's a tow dolly. So a couple months ago, you guys remember I bought a tow dolly, but it was having issues, so I sold it, and then I went ahead and bought another one. So I just picked this up a couple of days ago. It's pretty much brand new. The guy bought it in July of this year from Ohio, moved up to Alaska, towed their vehicle with it, and then he just didn't need it no more. So I bought it, got an amazing deal with it, and it's pretty much brand new, guys. Check it out. This is their heavy duty one, so it's a bit wider, it can carry a little bit more load, and it's pretty much spanking new. Has nice wheels, tires are still in great shape, comes with a spare, has the brakes. So this one has the brake system, so when you're towing and you're stopping, it brakes it for you, very similar to the U-Haul one. So it has all that. The only thing I had to do was the original chain that came for this vehicle. It was about right here, so it's a bit too short, and I went ahead and got longer chain for it, and that's about it. So 2-inch ball, everything works amazing, has the LED lights, and we are going to be loading up the 4Runner today with this and taking it to Toyota Heaven. So this will be a great test run, and super stoked for it. the spare tire is brand new. I'm getting a mount setup made right now that's gonna use a boat winch, so I can use a hand crank boat winch to pull in disabled vehicle, and then this tire will be moved and remounted somewhere else. But for today's job, we're gonna go ahead and load up the 4Runner with a come along winch. When you are towing this car dolly empty on long distance, you're supposed to lower the tire pressure to about 10 psi. It's currently on 15 psi, and the reason is there's no suspension on this dolly. So when you're driving, let's say you need to do like a 2-hour trip to go pick up something, you're driving on empty weight, and this tow dolly is just gonna bounce everywhere whenever you hit rocky roads. So you're supposed to lower the tire pressure, and like I said, this is per manufacturer. And then once you have a vehicle loaded on here, you air your tire up to 50 psi. That's the recommended tire pressure. And then once the vehicle's loaded, it's now using the vehicle suspension to stabilize. So these are at 15 psi right now. I'm gonna go ahead and air them up to 50 psi because we're gonna be loading it up on the 4Runner and taking it away. So pretty stoked. I did went ahead and order some stuff. I went ahead and ordered some new tire straps, just for the heck of it, just to have it as spare. These right here are still good, original ones. I ordered the boat winch. I ordered a lock for the pieces right here, and I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, guys, pretty stoked. It is cold out here, guys. Getting colder every day in Alaska. 48 psi. We're gonna be good with that, guys. This is a 50 psi max, but I don't think this is pretty accurate. All right, first time loading up this car dolly. First thing we want to do is safety. Make sure we choke the wheel of my truck. Parking brake, it's in gear. You want to put the tow straps in right now before you load it up, and then go ahead and push this pin right here. This is your tilt. Now the ramps are tilted down, and then now you can drive your vehicle onto the ramps, or in this case we're gonna have to use the winch to pull it in. So that truck, the 4Runner, is pretty light right now. It has no engine, the front diff is removed, it's on some skinny tires. We're gonna get it as close as possible, line it up, and then I'll show you guys how I use my come along winch. This is my first time doing it, so it might take a bit. Just like that. This right here is my 4-ton come along winch. I bought it off Amazon, and I honestly haven't used it much. I used it maybe, I did like a test run on it once, but I haven't really used it real well. This is it right here. This is a come along winch. It's basically like a ratchet strap, something like that. All right, so I have the come along hooked up to the end of the tree saver. I just got to figure out how to release the strap, which is pretty interesting, because like I say, I've never done it before, so I forgot how to do it. The thing about these come alongs is that they're not really long. This is all you get right here, which is pretty useless. So maybe I do have to extend that tree saver again. Tree saver, soft shackle, and then another soft shackle down there. So let's go ahead and start winching. Alright, we are climbing the ramp. Once it climbs the ramps, we need to go ahead and lock that pin. There we go, baby. Look at that. Come on, climb up. There we go. There we go. She's on it. Just need to give it a little push. There we go. All right, we are lock and loaded. Put your safety pin on. Hook it up to your liking. Took me a while to figure it out, but that's kind of how they're supposed to look. And like I said, it just takes some practicing. This is the first time doing it with these straps. So I kind of did it. I did that one first. I messed up, and then I figured it out over here. So now I need to go fix this one. So see how this one is? This is not correct. This needs to be fixed more properly. So let me go ahead and take it off and do some practicing. But she's pretty much loaded up right now. Lock your steering wheels. Put your vehicle in neutral. I don't have to because my rear dry line's already detached. Make sure it's locked right here. Check tire pressure. And good to go. Solid to go. We got the front dry line hanging out, but it shouldn't go nowhere. Maybe I'll have to pull the slip yoke here so it doesn't fall off. Yep. Let me pull this out so it doesn't fall off on the highway. Come out, baby. Yeah, we'll put that inside the cab. Look how beautiful this scenery, guys. Look at this, man. This is a beautiful lookout. We are literally about 2 feet away from the bottom of this ravine. Beautiful, beautiful. Don't get too close, okay, Lincoln? Step back a little bit. Not too close. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is country land out here, pretty much. Farmland, country land. Just beautiful Alaska. So here's the setup right here. Apologize for the road noise. We're right next to the highway. Truck's doing fine. The vehicle that's being towed right now, it's on some 225s, 15s. Perfect. Tire pressure on the dolly has been filled up to 50 psi. Dry shaft has been disconnected, but you don't really have to. If you can just leave it in neutral if it's manual. If it's automatic, you should disconnect it for long term. But everything is going good, guys. Check all your chains. Make sure nothing's coming loose. Safety chain, everything's good. Can you climb over? I took off the spare. And just threw it in the bed right here. Yep, so always have a spare. Yep, climb over. Good job. Truck's towing fine. So my little hitch right there is a 10-inch drop. And you can see we still have enough room on the ramps. But I think if I can get that drop to go 2 more inches, I think this dolly will be nice and level. So a 12-inch drop hitch will be nice. There it is, guys. Towing great. We're gonna send her to her final resting ground. And Toyota, this is gonna be used for a lot of spare parts. Lots of good parts still. All right, let's hit the road. What do you see? Yeah, that's the rope. You don't pull that. That's the safety brake.
This one?
Yeah. Don't pull it. Danger. All right, guys. This is Toyota heaven. Check it out. Toyota heaven in Alaska. So many Toyota. This is just one section. There's another row of Toyotas. Beep, beep. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
Beautiful sunset out here too. Toyota heaven, there it is. We just got done dropping off the 4Runner at Toyota heaven at our buddy's place, so she's all good to go for the rest of its life. It's gonna be served as a parts rig. So before I head back home on an empty dolly, we're gonna go ahead and air down these dolly tires back to 10 psi. That's what they recommend. Might just do like 15, but hope you guys enjoy this video, and we're gonna be moving on to some next project. So if you guys enjoy the projects, enjoy the Toyota world. Ran into a little problem, guys. So heading back home, my trailer, once I go more than 40 miles an hour, it started fishtailing. And I thought that it's because there's no weight on the tongue, but I went down to check the trailer and 2 of the bolts are loose. 2 bolts that support the platform. So thankfully we have another Toyota buddy nearby. I'm gonna stop by his shop and use his tools. I didn't bring any tools to tighten up those bolts, but this is a good thing. This is a good reason why you need to check your equipment. And like I said, this is our first time using it. And yeah, it definitely needs to be fixed. Thankfully our buddy John's right down the road. So this is the bolts. These bolts right there and the one down there are loose. You guys can see. Thank you. Yeah, that's a tool. All right, shout out to John. We got it tightened down, 19 millimeter.
keep that into mind. It might be best to also have some extra bolts and nuts next time in case they do fall out and you're out in the boonies and you got no backup. But right now we're doing 45 and it's pulling good. No more fishtailing, fish waggling. So thankfully we caught that. You know, I was reading the manual book when I bought this trailer, and it was like, check all your bolts, check all your lug nuts, tire pressure. And the only thing I did was tire pressure and lug nuts. I should have checked all the bolts. But from now on, when I do a long trip, pre-check. You have to check everything, guys. Have extra nuts and bolts just in case. We're doing 50 miles an hour, and it is good. I think we're good, guys. So those were the problems. The wheel bearings does need to be tightened just a little bit more. When you shake it up and down, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, you can feel about maybe a 1/4 inch of play. So I was gonna do the wheel bearings anyway, but this is like super last minute. Get the 4Runner out of the garage. All right, guys, I think we are good, man. Now I have more confidence. 55, and we're pulling good.